So today we're going to talk about AMD versus Intel. We got CES coming up soon and some big things are about to drop that might potentially change the game. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and also my personal opinion about AMD versus Intel. So more coming up in just a moment. Welcome back, Tech Junkies. My name is JD and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about AMD versus Intel. And so there are a lot of things to talk about when we're talking about AMD versus Intel. This is not scripted, by the way. This is completely going off the top of my head. And I'm not necessarily a fan or a particular fanboy of either side, so it's kind of just a level playing ground for me. So this is the way the market operates right now. Okay, Intel owns the CPU market by a landslide. It completely owns it. AMD is there, but as far as performance goes and everything, it has AMD like pretty much tapped out. Intel owns the market. They can charge whatever they want. They can charge absolutely whatever they want. I paid $400, almost $400 for my CPU. I have a 4790K, and there's a reason why I went with Intel over AMD. One, I had the money to do that, and two, I wanted a gaming computer, and the Intel CPUs communicate better with the GPUs and everything. So there's multiple perks to having Intel versus the AMD processor, but that doesn't mean AMD is bad. It still works perfectly fine. I just wanted a bleeding edge on my computer, which will probably fade in about, a year or so, but that's besides the point. What I want to talk about is it's pouring outside. Yeah, okay. Intel and AMD have this clash going on, but not really, because Intel owns the market. Okay, I'm always rooting for AMD because I don't want Intel to own the market. They can monopolize on whatever they want. They can charge $1,800 for a processor for their 10 core or their 8 core processor. There's no way a processor should be that much money. I mean, personally, I don't develop processors. I don't do anything like that. But there's enough parts that go into a computer that make up significant portions of it that make it run fast. It's not only the central processing unit. So there's no way it should be $400 and AMD should be charging, around $80 to $150. That price gap is way too far off. That means someone clearly is dominating the market. So I'm really rooting for AMD here, even though I have an Intel processor of my own. I mean, I just want there to be a balance in the market. I want them to offer different options and have things that actually compete against each other, not just budget versus high-end. This upcoming CES convention has new processors being revealed, I believe. There's the Kaby Lake from Intel, and then there's the new Zen processor from AMD. I'm really rooting for AMD on this one. Intel, I mean, it's rumored that Intel's gonna have this 7 gigahertz processor or something like that. In my honest opinion, I wouldn't care. I don't care if they have a 7 gigahertz processor. I want AMD to come out with that Zen the way they're making it to sound right now, the way they're advertising it. Fairly cool, also low power usage, hyper-threaded, and high performance and low bottlenecking. And also communicates well with the rest of the components in the computer. If it can do all that, Intel's going to have a serious contender and someone to worry about, because they can make as high-end processors as they want. They can be like the Lamborghinis of cars if they want. But if I have a perfectly functional Sonata, then that's all I need. Right? So if AMD comes out with an 8-core hyper-threaded 16 threads, or 16 supposed cores of a processor with low power usage and remains fairly cool, and also at a price point that competes with Intel, forcing them to drop their prices, I'm going to root for AMD all the way. And I really, really, really want them to do that, because otherwise it's going to be totally leveraged towards Intel. And I'm not trying to bash on Intel, and I'm not trying to bash on AMD and tell them, you have to do this, you have to do this. I'm just trying to promote the idea that one person or one company shouldn't be monopolizing the entire market. But I just like the idea that someone else... Okay, that was thunder. Sorry if I'm getting interrupted here. It's healthy for the economy and all sorts of things for the whole entire PC community. So I'm really rooting for that. It's not just AMD and it's not just Intel. It's for the entire PC community and PC economics and everything that follows around that. It's really crucial and very important because the CPUs, you can't have a computer without a CPU. And if there's only two choices to choose from, you know, there's got to be some sort of competition between those two. You can't just have two and have one own the other. I mean, it just can't work like that. It's just going to be a complete catastrophe. Intel can make whatever they want, as high-end and as pricey as they want. But if AMD's come out with a solid processor that does all the things that I listed out before, then I would buy that over the Intel high-end, unless I had oodles and oodles and oodles of money just to blow my money on unnecessary things. I don't need a Lamborghini. If I had money just to throw out, I would buy a Lamborghini. I mean, there's no purpose for it. There really isn't, other than going really fast. And this CPU that Intel wants to drop, the Kaby Lake series, they're obviously going to be very fast. And if AMD can drop that well-rounded CPU that competes, that's also really fast, not as fast of course, but I don't really care, it gets the job done and you can do multiple things with it. I mean, a CPU isn't the only thing that makes a computer fast. You have SSDs, and you also have the type of memory that you have, and also the graphics card for certain functionalities. It's going to speed up your PC, and there's other things that go into that as well. I'm definitely rooting for AMD on this one, but overall as a community I'm rooting for the what's the word, the well-rounded, no, I'm rooting for, what's the word, anyways, I'm rooting for a well-rounded economy around the PC community, because that's important, and a lot of people can't afford these things because they're so dang expensive. This can definitely help bring those prices down. You don't need a $6,000 computer based off, you know, the CPU being incredibly expensive and the GPU being incredibly expensive. And the same applies to the new graphics cards, with AMD releasing their Vega architecture, although I don't believe they're releasing it just yet. That's another example. Nvidia versus AMD. Once again, that would drop the prices. And this is all good because now you have more of a variety and you have more of an economic sustainability that really calls out to the consumer, and it's good for everyone because more people will be buying, and then you'll have people that can be able to afford these things, and everyone can benefit from competition. Obviously not too much competition, but enough competition that's so much so that one person isn't dominating the market. So I'm reiterating the same thing again. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Or 1 cent, 10 cents, or a lot of cents. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and any of my avid viewers out there that feel like they want to comment, let me know what you guys think about this whole entire scenario and what you think is going to happen at CES. There's going to be a lot of things changing. It's a new year, and a lot of new tech is about to drop. So if you want to see more PC talks like this and stuff like that, I am more than willing to share my opinion. I really enjoy doing this. I might actually make this a series. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more content like this, more tech and unboxings and reviews and setup guides and all sorts of things of that alike, share my passion with me, and we'll share our passions together in the tech community. Okay? And consider subscribing, and also like the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you next time. Peace out.